Welcome, welcome, welcome! It's your girl V from Drinking Tea with V, and you are now here locked into the best place to be. On a Sunday, on a fun day, any day, have it your way. So yeah, this is Drinking Tea with V. If this is your first time tuning into Drinking Tea with V and you want to know what it's all about, it's basically your Sunday slumber party with business slash entrepreneurial flair. And it's just full of entertainment, like I like to call it. What we do here on these cookie series with Drinking Tea with V is basically taking a moment to just be like, okay, I am super grateful for this and that. And yeah, it's a gratitude journal. It's a gratitude journal. And what we start off with is the flavor of the day. And then we go on into the tea and coffee, and then round off with a quote. Do I have a quote today? I don't know. Maybe by the end of it, I'll figure it out. But and that is basically it. Just some good positive vibes to make you go into the week feel like you can take care of the world, honey. Oh yes. So after we then get pumped up, pumped up, pumped up. What are we gonna be talking about today? Let's start off with flavor of the day. And then if you're seeing this, you already see what the title of it is, which is all about is Mama Trippin', and we're talking about Ayesha Curry today. But before we get into the flavor of the day, right? Today is Mother's Day. I am super duper duper grateful for my mama. I'm grateful for my mama. She's gonna be looking at this, I hope. I think, yeah, she usually looks at it. So, mommy, happy Mother's Day. And to all the rest of the mothers out there, happy Mother's Day. Whether you actually have birthed a child or not, if you take care of, if you guide and counsel, you are still your mama bear in your own right, okay? And so I just want to shout out all the women out there who love on and nurture and foster so many good bonds with so many kids and even grown adults. Because I have so many moms. Like I am grateful. I'm not gonna start naming names. I am grateful for all of my mothers. And sometimes my biological mom gets jealous, but I love all of my moms. And like I say, I'm not gonna start naming names. So let's get into it. I have a solution. I have my tray, and on my tray I have my tea. So it's officially Drinking Tea with V, and this month I'm gonna keep it really simple. And I was talking about the fact that I'm doing a la Steve Jobs, where I'm just keeping my tea simple for right now and really focusing on focusing on the topic, on the subject. So what we're having this week again is the green tea with lemon, and is the green tea lemon, and I actually spritzed some extra lemon, like fresh lemon, in there as well. So that is what I am having. I always alter my teas. Sometimes I add spices. If you want to spice things up a little bit, just crack some pepper in there, some black pepper, or add some chili flakes, and then you can scoop them out. I'll leave them just go down to the bottom just for some extra kick. And for y'all who are looking to, shed some body fat, trust me, that will help, because it'll boost up your metabolism and it'll help you shed the weight, because it's gonna enhance the heat in your body, and then it's gonna help to get everything moving along. So anyways, so you're gonna burn more. And before y'all come for me, this is my middle finger. I have some hand candy, but it's on my middle finger. Anyways, so yes, flavor of the day, we already have that. Now moving into tea and coffee. And what is tea and coffee? Is things that zen you out and make you get hype and excited, makes you want to party. Hey, so that is what tea and coffee is. So some people think they're tea people, some people think they're coffee people, and in this case you're both. So what we're talking about with the tea and coffee right now is things that zen you out and relax you. And we're gonna focus in on the whole topic of mama bear. Is mama bear tripping? is mama tripping? And in this case, we're talking about being able to express, okay, being able to express your feelings the way how you feel them. And feelings don't have to be logical. Feelings do not have to be logical whatever whatsoever. And what I think about this whole situation is, for me, the whole um tea part of this is this whole situation surrounding Ayesha Curry and her talking about, oh, I would like to get male attention to know if I still got it. Like, I don't, this is, she said, this is an insecurity of mine, right? She said, this is an insecurity of mine, and I know it's crazy, but this is the way how I feel. Number one, what relaxed me about this whole situation is the fact that she was able to be vulnerable and speak from the heart. We all tend to be like, listen, y'all. let me come in here a little bit. A lot of y'all came for me. A lot of y'all came for me. Don't come for me if I ain't sent for you. Don't come for me. I am speaking my truth, just like Ayesha spoke her truth, and I'm gonna talk about this, okay? I'm gonna talk about this because I want to. And let's get the record straight. She prefaced this. She started off by saying, I think this is an insecurity. It's crazy, but this is the way I think. So, or this is what is currently going through my mind. It's good to know that somebody can be vulnerable. It's really good that somebody could be vulnerable. And that's what I think is so refreshing about the whole situation. And people are like, oh, honey, you signed up for all of this. Whatever it is, you gotta take it. If you want to compare yourself, it doesn't matter. Listen, comparison is so normal. Comparison is normal. Comparison is absolutely normal. We do it on a regular basis. And that's why we have to snap ourselves out of it and constantly remind ourselves we don't like how I say, we don't compete, we collaborate. And likewise, with the same competitive spirit, you don't compare yourself to somebody else. But sometimes it's, let's be honest, sometimes it's nice to get signals from outside that what we think and what we feel is also being seen around us. So I say, give the girl a break. Why don't you give her a break? So what relaxed me also about this is that you see so many women chiming in, and be like, yes, I also feel this way, especially after having kids. Aisha had 3 kids, recently had the last little boy a couple of months ago. And so many women go through the same process. Is it wrong that she said it? And everybody's like, oh my goodness, how dare she, blah 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 blah. And this is where I get hyped. Now, I just didn't hype and excited like woohoo, but I got hyped and was like, I felt like I had to come in and be like, you know what, I yes, I'm excited in a positive way. Like, yes, she spoke about this. Yes, she spoke about this. Because number one, people feel like, oh, you got money, so guess what? Sat down. No, 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 no. Not because you have money, that means to say everything is well with the world. No, we all have our problems. No matter in which tax bracket you are, you're still going to be confronted with problems. You're still gonna have to be able to rise above them. And this is currently what she's going through in this situation after having given birth to 3 children. 3 children. 3. Okay? So after giving birth to 3 children, I find y'all need to relax. And yes, if I don't think that it's a double standard. I think that is absolutely something that is really, really common. And if it's common, why keep it a taboo? Especially if you're earning more money. Like, nah, boo. Nah. And what got me also hyped is the fact that people just want to be saying, this is hype. Like, I gotta put my ladies and also my fellas in check, because things have been taken like fully out of proportion. In my opinion, it was taken fully out of proportion, because it's not, people hear what they want to hear, And so she said, I don't want their attention. I don't want their attention like that. But it would be good to know that somebody also thinks that I am desirable. Now let's hone in on this. This is a serious case of men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Because what she said was, it would be nice to know that somebody else thinks that I am also beautiful. But but what a whole bunch of people took this as, oh, she opening doors to be for other men to be hollering at her. And we went from um being told that she's beautiful to her wanting to have sex with these guys. Like, oh, I had to, sorry, if y'all children listening in, you might want consider, because I know some kids also listening. Y'all might want to consider to either put on headphones or kindly guide them out the room, or not listen to this with them. Anyway, disclaimer: might not be as kid friendly. I think it's open to talk about sex with kids from a young age. Clearly, clearly, I from this weekend also. Clearly, I know, like, you gotta get it while they're young. Like, I think 4 and 5, I already knew about it. I already knew about sex then, and it's good to talk to children about their bodies, and children and nobody being able to touch them, blah 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 blah, just like that. The whole, at least an intro to the whole sexual conversation. But anywho, so how do we go from that, from being beautiful, told you're beautiful, to wanting to have sex with somebody, dude? And the other thing is we took this whole thing all out of proportion and be like, oh yeah, y'all feminists, this, that, y'all want people to be catcalling, and y'all feminists just be like, oh yeah, we think that's sexual harassment, blah 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 blah. who on earth who on earth said that, oh yeah, telling a woman that she's beautiful means to say you have to catcall at her? I'm still crickets. Is that the only way that we communicate? We bark at each other just like that? Like, seriously? Do we just no. So I think that is absolutely absurd. I'm sorry, y'all trying to convince me in all of the blah 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 blahs about this whole situation. I don't see it that way. I'm sorry. I don't see it that way whatsoever. If you can tell somebody, I am liberal with my compliments. I'm like, girl, you look beautiful, hey, you look handsome, like that. Or sometimes I don't even say it in that way. I try to be more indirect with guys, in the sense that I am direct but still not too directly personal, and be like, oh, that looks super nice on you, or whatever, or you did that well, or it. And it doesn't have to only be about the outer appearance. You can also compliment somebody of what they did. You like how they communicate, and the fact that they do things in a structured manner, and they keep their word. It compliment people. Don't be stingy with your compliments. Compliment people. Compliment people. And so I think that, because, yeah, and a lot of men were all up in the feelings. A lot of y'all guys was all up in y'all feelings. I realized how sensitive the male ego is. Like, what? Because a lot of guys heard this as in, I want sexual attention from other men, so I want other men coming at me, like, ooh, they want me, they want to have sex with me. And so a lot of guys got in their feelings, because men tend to be held at a certain standard of being able to provide. And so this is a guy who is making hundreds of millions, and yet that ain't enough. Honey boo boo, money is not everything. And yes, being able to financially support your family and go beyond is a foundation of, let's start talking about what we can do to all help this situation, because this is a common situation. This is not a situation that only Ayesha Curry experiences. This is a situation that is common among all women. Okay? And also men, for a fact. when introducing, when talking to somebody, if somebody was supposed to come talk to your man, and they just come and talk to him, oh, da, 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 and walk off and don't even say hi to you. Hello? Number one, we should take responsibility as a people, as a human race, right? Or a human species, however you want to call it. We should take responsibility and be very cordial towards, especially if it's a married couple, be cordial towards both. You address both of them in invitations. You address both of them in when they're together. You say hi. You talk to both. You don't only go up to one person, hey, da, 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 and look at the other person and be like, okay, this is like, what's that? What's that? And clearly this is a validation issue, because she's talking about the attention that her husband gets, Steph Curry, versus the attention that she gets. And a lot of people just run up to him and scream and da 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 da. And I think his temperament also is so mild mannered that he's like, yeah, yeah, whatever, and hee hee ha ha, just keep everybody cool. While he should also be more, he could also, which also is a point for him at least, that I feel like maybe he can be more assertive and be like, yes, this is my wife, and make sure that she's also included. Because if you look at the whole interview, not only just a snippet, if you look at the whole interview, she also talked about having to insert and assert herself in so many different situations. Okay, I use the example that some people have validation issues when they have one unanswered text. If this is your life for 10 years, don't give me that BS about, oh, she know what she signed up for. No, she did not sign up for people to be rude to her. And if you were in that place and people are being super rude to you, like on a regular basis, you would have an issue with it. You might end up having validation issues. You might end up being angered. You might end up being frustrated, like, do you not see me here? Like, how rude is this? Try to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. We are talking about we're of course, part of it is interpretation, but clearly she's already prefacing it by saying, this is an insecurity. I know this is crazy, but this is how I feel. And these are the different situations that I'm encountering on a regular basis. Now, I'm Team Ayesha. I'm like, get a girl some rest. And do I think that this is something that she should talk to her husband about as well? It would have been really, I don't know what the situation is, but I think she should definitely solve this whole thing together with her husband, talk to him about it, see what he can do, see how she can do, and make sure that she's okay. It's they should talk about this together. But the fact that y'all want to just come on here, a whole bunch of y'all want to come and say, yeah, but I don't find she had to say that about her husband, it's like throwing her husband under the bus. No, it's not like throwing her husband under the bus. At least I don't feel that way. And I see how it can be perceived that way. And I see now, because men feel like my standard is how I could provide for my family, and like I'm doing the most, like getting like 200 million, 300 million on different deals annually is not even enough to know. I'm like, come on, y'all, give the woman a break. Money is not everything, and money does not take away different feelings and challenges and stuff like that. So I don't feel like he's been thrown under the bus. I feel like definitely they should go to therapy and work things out. But let's take a moment and realize how real this is. Okay? And if you want to say that is her opening doors for men to come at her at different ways, and especially knowing the fact that they already don't see each other as often, if as a guy that you come and be like, oh yeah, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, after a while, if there's any rocky anything, he'll be the first one to slip in there and be like, here I come to save the day. Of course, it's showing that vulnerability, and vulnerability can be seen as a weak point. But when you know your weaknesses, you know how you can strengthen them as well. So I don't know. I don't see it as a problem. Y'all gonna have y'all opinions like belly buttons. Everybody has one, but I definitely can see how this can come across to men, especially from their perspective of the provider. Men, y'all good, y'all good, y'all good. We don't see, we don't equate to you're beautiful to I want to have sex with you. We there is a lot more, there are a lot more things in between there. But for you, it's like you come at a woman and it's like you're beautiful. Oh yes, I'm coming to you because I can see myself having sex with you, and I'm propositioning myself in that way. That is a whole different thing. That is a whole different thing. So let us be cognizant and realize what the difference is of this, the men are from Mars, women are from Venus, communication, insights, views, perspectives. So I want to know from you, do you think mama is tripping below? And what did you get hype and excited about this week? What did you get hype and excited about this week? Share below and let me know. This thing got me hyped and excited. So yeah, vulnerability, the challenges of vulnerability are relaxing but also exciting, that to see that we are all human, and we all deal with our own things. So at the end of the day, what the quote is, I'm gonna go with the one that I mentioned earlier on. As women, we don't have to compete, we collaborate together. And that was clearly a sisterhood coming together to come and talk about and work out different feelings. And as it being mental health month, right, in May, can we not have really honed in on the fact that so many of these women on that table have anxiety issues and are taking medication for anxiety and depression? Can we follow up on that conversation versus whether Ayesha want that D or not? I think that that is even more of an issue, to see that as human beings being under such high pressure and on a pedestal, and having so many signals coming at us, positive and negative, how do we deal with the pressures of life? Some, like, their pressures are like off the charts. Okay, so they are clearly being affected by this. How can we in our everyday lives, especially when you have a career that is really like you gotta go, 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 we can all relate at least to that, right? You have the pressures of being a mother. How do you, no matter how you feel, how do you go about the being a mother and dealing with, how do I put food on the table? Especially if finances are rocky, how do I deal with the pressures of having a child that is dealing with whatever issue, special needs or behavioral issues, or just having to constantly be on the ball with them because they change like this. You think you have things all figured out, and then it's like boom, you being confronted with a whole other situation, like, okay, hold on, how we gonna do, how we gonna deal with this now? Can we talk about that? Anyways, so let me know what your tea and coffee is, what zen you out and what relax you, and do you think that Ayesha was tripping? And do you actually also see the commonalities within having to deal with pressures and having to constantly be dealing with your mental health, to put your mind in check and not be, even though you have these different emotions coming up, not to be driven by them and let them decide how you're going to act? Okay, so let me know your perspectives below in the comments, and subscribe, put on that notification bell to be able to get it, because sometimes, you know, this is technology. If you don't know how it works, if after a while you don't end up seeing my videos, I am still posting. It's just that because you don't click to put on the notification, then you don't get notifications, and sometimes I won't even show up in your timeline. So do make sure to subscribe. That is step number one. And put on that notification bell, whether here or down here. Click to put on that notification bell so that you get notifications whenever I post weekly. Alright? Anyways, so yeah, this is it. Be fabulous, stay fit, and you can take over the world. Honey, deuces. Mwah.